My name is Zach Mason, and this is Kyle Beatrice Robbins, and we will be talking to you about intercollegiate athletics, the history and the development and current issues that are within them. So let's begin. As you can see, the very first intercollegiate athletic event was actually held on August 3rd, 1852, which was a crew race between Harvard and Yale. In the later 1800s and the late 1870s was when the major sporting events began, which was football, and then baseball followed shortly thereafter. And this was mainly within the Ivy League institutions, and all athletic events were student-run until the dangers of football actually forced faculty and administrators to get involved. And this is just in the year 1905, not the years previous, 18 collegiate athletes were killed while playing football, and another 149 had serious injuries. So in 1905, the Intercollegiate Athletic Association of the United States was formed, and 7 years later, in 1912, they changed their name to the NCAA because the first name was just way too long. Okay, the history of women in college athletics. Obviously, women were not treated the same as men, and lots of people in society believe that women should actually, it sounds kind of silly, but should not sweat, and they did not want them to get hurt, and so did not want them to participate in athletic events. But in 1892, Cinda Berenson at Smith College introduced basketball to college women, and 4 years later, the first collegiate basketball game for women was held between Cal Berkeley and Stanford. And by 1960, positive attitudes towards women began, and the AIAW was actually formed, an alternative athletic model for women that rejected the NCAA. And since the NCAA, as we all know, hates it when other organizations undermines them, they began trying to find ways to bring the women game over towards the NCAA. And in 1991, the AIAW officially disbanded because the NCAA offered to subsidize expenses for the national championship games, not charge additional expenses for women, create same rules and regulations and financial aid opportunity for women's athletes, and increase TV coverage of women events. So, organization and governance. The NCAA statement says that their purpose is to maintain intercollegiate athletics as an integral part of the educational program. And in 1952 was when they first realized they needed an enforcement department. And the enforcement staff actually determines what violations or what rules have been violated, and they're in charge of letting the schools know. And in 1973, because there was all three departments were under one legislation, it was split into Division I, II, and III. And so, as a little fun fact, the NAIA and the junior college athletics are actually not under the NCAA. But in 1989 was when showed that 2/3 of Americans in a poll wanted to share